Hi everyone, my name is Maggie. In this video, I wanted to do something. I have been seeing a lot of these videos where people are showing the places that they live. And so while I am grateful, and I understand a lot of us are grateful to have roofs over our head, a lot of the videos that I've seen kind of almost glamorize some of the videos, which can be great, but I want to show you the parts that just really aren't glamorous, especially like I live in in a townhome where management just doesn't care. It doesn't matter what is happening here, they don't care. So yes, grateful to have a roof over my head. I really am. But I'm gonna show you some of the things, the good and the bad. I'm gonna mix it up. So we will start at the front door, and then I'll kind of give you rundowns of each spot that we go through, the good and the bad. Okay, so here's the front door. I would go outside and show you, but it's really cold out right now and I have shorts on and no shoes or socks. So at the front door, it's completely like destroyed. The door on the outside paint is chipped and everything. And so with the ring, I have a story about the ring later, but right now I had to buy a second ring due to management. I'll tell you that story in a little bit about what happened with our ring that is attached to where the building doorbell usually is. But in the meantime, this is one of an old chair of my daughter's that we put in front of the door because there is a big crease there. We have the door cover thing because right now this floor is ice cold, absolutely freezing. So that's the front door. And then so here you can see where it's basically open, and we are in Illinois, so if you know Illinois weather, it can get really cold. So okay, we'll go into the next room. So as you walk in, you can go upstairs here or right here. Obviously we have our shoe bench and everything, and then some decor on the wall. And so then we're gonna walk into the living room. Okay, and right here, this is the only window that we have in the living room. So when it's like, no matter what it is, sunny or cloudy or anything, this is the only light we get for just a couple of hours a day. So we had to put all of these towels down because we live on a corner where we get the entire snowdrift. The neighbors across the yards from us, they can have literally a dusting of snow on their porch, and we've had to come get people get us out of our house because of how high it gets on our porch. And so when it snows or gets cold or anything, we've had snow come in right here on the carpet and icicles just form right underneath there. So we just have to keep that there during the winter, because also if we're sitting on the couch, our toes will literally be frozen. So that's the sliding glass door that goes outside. Okay, so over here we have the couch. So just that. We've got some decor up there that I started to make and then never finished. So yeah, that's part of the couch. Okay, and over here we have our TV and bookshelf and everything. I did put this picture down because that shows our exact location. Is a picture of my daughter with a location on it. And so we've got that, and got my Bible. We've got a diffuser because oftentimes the meth smell and the marijuana smell that come through the vents from the neighbors is so overpowering. And right now with our mold issue, we can the mold is kind of almost like that death smell that goes throughout the house. And so we just keep diffusers going a lot of the time when we're in the house, because it's a smell that we can't get rid of between neighbors' drugs and the mold smell. Okay, so now we'll go into the kitchen. Okay, so this is the furnace area. It's got the furnace and the water heater in there. And actually the furnace, we had to call the fire department one night because you know how in the fall when it starts to get really cold and you turn the heat on and then we'll have kind of that dusty smell? Well, this was a fire smell. And so the fire department came, and I'm going to show you a picture. I'll put a picture up that shows the furnace filter. The firemen were so disgusted. They're like, what the heck is this? First of all, it looks like a Dollar Tree furnace filter. They said there's no drawer that keeps all of the dust from building up in it. And also I let them know that management only has maintenance change the furnace filters every November, once a year. So we, in our house, we've decided to just change the furnace filters ourselves once every other month, because once a year is crazy, especially when there's already enough like bad stuff going on around here. Also the, here I can just show you in here, the water heater. I've had so many people tell me that that's just dangerous. It's like electrical going over this pipe. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments, because I don't know. It just seems like it's dangerous. This water heater has been crazy though. And so there's that. And then I can show you down here that there's no drawer for the filter. So, and as far as this water heater, it's been crazy. It's about 2.5 years old, and we did have the other one break, which was all over this carpet. It ruined our kitchen chairs, so we don't even have kitchen chairs. We haven't for a couple of years because kitchen chairs are expensive, and the water heater just went everywhere and ruined our chairs, so we had to throw those away. And again, management did not come and have maintenance, shop vac it did just nothing, just left it. They came, put the new water heater in, which the water heater since then has started staining a lot of our stuff, the bathtub, the bathroom sink, the kitchen sink, some of our, like our blender something is not okay with that. Also the water heater, just for the third time last week, had a third change of thermostats. Top and bottom have both been changed, and then the heating elements just got changed for the second time. And I'm gonna post some pictures of this as I'm talking about it, because it's just been absolutely crazy. And so yeah, that's been in a mess in it whole self, and opening that just brought the smell back out so badly. So okay, so we're gonna go on to the kitchen and then we'll keep going from there. Okay, and so here's the kitchen sink. This kitchen sink used to look like stainless steel, but again, like I said, after the water heater was changed, I don't know what happened, but it's pretty icky back there. We've cleaned it the best we could. We don't use a lot of chemical, well, really any chemical cleaners in the house. My daughter is super sensitive to certain chemicals, so we do a lot of natural cleaning, or like vinegar, ACV, things like that. So that's been that. And then over here in the pantry, the pantry is a good size and everything, but when we open it, it's like a second fridge. It's so cold in there. I bet like if there were anything that you needed to keep cool in the fridge, we could put it in this pantry, because even stepping on the floor, it's freezing. Okay, so as far as the lights, I know that it doesn't look great, but so they had those great big thick heavy round things that go on them, and the covers, and so we took those off. One, these lights flicker all the time, and those covers are so dark that it almost gives no light, and since we don't have any windows over this way, we always need the lights on. But in this corner over here, again, I'm gonna put some pictures to show you kind of the before, during, and after. That used to be a vent because our bathtub drain is under that. Well, management decided they wanted it closed up, and when they opened, well, I'll show you. I'll just show you what it looked like, and the fact that they had to fix it, and then it all fell apart, and they came back like a month or two later. Sorry, I'm tripping over things here. Because it fell apart again. And so that's part of the reason too, not only with the lights flickering and all that, the ceiling bounces a lot, and so I didn't think that was safe for my daughter and me, so we took those things off, and we've just got them put away, because we did not want those big heavy bulky things falling if the ceiling ever falls in. Okay, so I don't know if you can see from the camera, but you can see a big stripe right here and right over there from where the ceiling is like kind of caving. Okay, so this is the stairs that lead up. Oftentimes right here, right in the middle, we have our next door neighbors. Their shower is so loud that it rattles this wall and it sounds like it's going to come just splashing in on us. And a lot of this stuff will just fall off the wall anyway because they will fight and like go crazy, and so it just knocks things off of our wall. Yeah, we're surrounded by that, so we have to be careful with wall things. Also, a lot of times the floor will crunch. So if you hear any crunching, I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but that will crunch the stairs in the hallway or in the stairway. Okay, so yeah, I don't even know if you can see, but you can hear the floor. You're gonna hear the floor the whole time upstairs now. You can see, I think you can see all of the smoke stains and everything from, I think, cigarettes and drugs and everything, because it just blasts in here. But I think you can actually see that on camera. So I'll add too is that one of the things we actually do use in the house, you know, aside from like our like green cleaning type of stuff is my daughter will take like the Swiffer wet things and she will go, we do that like at the end of every month. We'll just kind of scrub the walls down throughout the entire house. And so, I mean, this has only been obviously like 3.5 weeks, and yeah, it's pretty bad. And then obviously she can only get so high. She's like 5'5", 5'4", 5'5", so you can only go so far. And because like that, we can't even clean that. I don't even know if you can see over there. Just, yeah, you can't really see on camera. It's just massive cobwebs and everything that I would love to be able to get. Okay, so this is the bathroom. This is the only bathroom we have, and it is straight up the stairs. This was really difficult. A couple of years ago, my daughter was having some physical therapy on her hips and she was on crutches. That was not a good time trying to deal with that, getting up and down with crutches and pain and everything to just go to the bathroom. But so this is obviously the sink. And like I had said, is that how everything, when the water heater was changed, which let me add too, when the water heater was changed, they had set the temperature too high and I ended up getting burnt. I'll post pictures of that as well. And I had called after hours and the manager's like, well, too bad, like deal with it. So yeah, just doesn't even care. And when I've complained about how the water heater keeps breaking and falling apart and staining things, it's always, oh, well, too bad, I'm too cheap. Those are usually the answers. So if you can see right here, like that's the kind of stuff it's done. The caulking has to be redone about once a year. This was just recaulked, I want to say in December, when they came and recaulked it, because this was all orange and brown. We usually keep water in here because our water will just shut off randomly without warning. This cabinet right here, this is horrible. So when this was all recaulked about a month ago, I had called because our hallway right over here was soaking wet. And so I was like, what is going on? And then realized that there had been a leak under here that I hadn't even noticed, because I mean, the only thing we really had under there was our plunger. And so, you know, if we have to use that. So they came and fixed this and I was like, that's more mold. And they're like, nope, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. So I'm going to open this up very quickly and close it very quickly. So that is that. But also we have a big issue with the toilet. We have said that the toilet, this is all since the water heater. So if you know anything about water heaters, tell me I'm crazy or not crazy, because what I'm about to show you never ever was happening with our toilet until that water heater was changed. So this has been since the water heater was changed. yeah, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick and then I'll be right back. Okay, and this is the shower. This actually just got recaulked too, because again, I'll show you the pictures from a couple months ago before I asked them to recaulk it. This is typically recaulked once a year as well. I don't know anything about caulking, but I feel like caulking should not have to be done yearly. Okay, and so obviously you can probably hear, I'll be quiet in a second to see that it drips. There's also standing water in the drain that we can't figure out. Typically, also when we turn the bathroom sink on, there's a huge leak behind the toilet and the sink. So, but you know, management says there are no plumbing issues. And then you can see right around the drain that that's where everything had broken, that leaked into our whole kitchen. That spot I showed you in the kitchen, that was redone. All of the water and everything was completely all over that whole corner of our kitchen. I had to scrub out our air fryer, everything, like it was everywhere. Okay, I don't know if you can see up here, but so we have asked about that before too, the mold spots. Again, this has been in the last couple of years. Everything, like nothing was really super fantastic, obviously, about this place before, but this new management in the last couple of years has just not taken care of anything. And so there's still more mold up there. And I'll mention too, that is when I said how my daughter will clean the walls, she does clean that. She will clean every inch of every wall in the house. And it always comes right back. Okay, so this is my daughter's room. This is the room we enjoy to be in if we have to be in the house. We've got this as pretty as can be for her. The biggest thing I think in this room is the whole upstairs. The floor is completely bubbled. I feel like you can see the bubbles there. That's this whole upstairs, and then everywhere you walk, you can just hear the squeak everywhere, and you can feel all of the bubbling. You're like walking on a roller coaster. And so some of this my daughter just kind of keeps out of the closet, because the closet just opens. You can see it's completely like offline. Is that what the right, off track, there we go. And so you can see the door there. I did have actually some neighbors that theirs completely fell off, their doors and everything. So yeah, you're gonna keep hearing the floor squeak as we go, by the way. Okay, so this is our linen closet. It works. We've got towels and, you know, these are cleaning towels, just, you know, accessories and stuff. And so yeah, it's not too bad. And so this is my room. I tend to sleep at this end. Again, when neighbors are slamming and fighting and banging walls and stuff, things fall off of our walls. So I don't want to sleep where things are gonna fall on me. I'll just keep walking over this way. And again, there are big ripples and bubbles over here. So pretty much anywhere you walk, you can feel the carpet coming up, or it's gonna squeak somewhere. Yeah, but and I have some closet space and everything, but there is no lighting in here, especially once the sun goes down. You can't really see much. It's pretty dark. Okay, so I'll tell you a story. So about 2 years ago, we had somebody throw a rock. I'll post pictures of this too, through this window. And this is on the second story, mind you. So somebody threw a rock through here and busted the side of my dresser. You can see over there. I'll eventually get rid of this, but I did get this from my grandparents for my 9th birthday. But so that was a bummer. It's been through a lot. It's been around for a while, and it was a rock through my bedroom window that ruined it. So yeah, I'll show some pictures of that and tell some more stories, and yeah. So that is pretty much everything that I could think of. I actually had some notes here that I wanted to talk about of some of the things when I had mentioned that there was the whole ring thing. So we have our ring that is, we took the doorbell off that comes with the building and we put our ring on. Maintenance had done it and everything. And then when the new manager came in, there was this is how the whole ring story plays out, is we had a neighbor a couple of months ago who was SA'd across from us. And so we had had our ring up. We've had it up for a couple of years, and the police had seen that we had a ring. So the police knocked on our door and asked if they could view our ring footage. Let me fix this camera a little bit here. It's kind of wonky. There we go. Okay. Asked if they could view the footage from like the last 24 to 48 hours. And so we're like, of course. So we let them. They had found a couple of things that they asked to send to like their texting evidence or something. And then management found out, and for the next 2 weeks, all of our sidewalk lights were shut off. She just shut them off. She didn't say anything. She never announced to, I shouldn't say announce, that's not the right word, but people weren't informed that there had been a crime here, because I just think it's one of those things, like, you don't have to say who, where, anything like that. There, you can give information without giving information. And so I just think it was one of those things that people should have been informed. Hey, there was a crime, especially there are a lot of, moms and females and, young girls and stuff out here that I think it should have been said, hey, there was a crime here. Just, be extra cautious. So the sidewalk lights were shut off for 2 weeks. And then I had called because mysteriously my ring just stopped working. Like the wiring just didn't work. I had called Ring and I'm like, hey, like what's going on? And, tried to do all this stuff. And they're like, no, it's the wiring. And so I was like, I just thought that was kind of suspicious. So I called to put in a request to like have it fixed. And she was like, no, like we're not fixing that for you. You never should have had a ring to begin with because it's damage to the building. And I'm like, but like, I don't understand how it's damage to the building when the doorbell to the building would have been there anyway. And that's just put in a drawer somewhere while I have my ring up. So yeah, so there was that whole thing. And then a couple weeks later, we had the police here again, along with the SWAT team and the bomb squad, because a neighbor over this way got chased into the house and they found 5 IEDs in his home. So that was a little bit terrifying that we're just all hanging out and everything, and there are 5 IEDs near us. Again, management, nothing. Like, hey, like, yeah, there was an incident today. Everything's fine. Everything's taken care of. No communication, nothing. And so, yeah, we have a neighbor across from us who's handicapped and has a wheelchair. Her air conditioning broke last year. No, 2023, because all of 2024, is that right? No. Okay, so 2023, she had no air conditioning for 2023, most of 2024, refused to fix her air. Then when her ramp was being fixed, they left her without any way of getting out of her house for the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She had no way of getting out. So yeah, I have another neighbor who, God bless, has been able to move out of here. She had, we have, like I said, a lot of plumbing issues, although it's not apparently an issue. She had a backup of her neighbor's fecal matter come up through the pipes of her water heater and spread all out around her living room of somebody else's number 2. So yeah, and I'm gonna, like, whatever I have pictures of, I'm gonna put pictures up to show you just really the less glamorous side, because it's one of those things, and I still have a list here that I'm gonna just buzz through of a lot of things, because I am grateful that, my daughter and I have somewhere to put our head at night, and, to like sit on the couch and watch TV, or, come home from, whatever. Right now, I do work part-time from home. I have been looking for a job. If you have been in the job market, you understand how difficult it is to find a job. Even with a bachelor's degree, I have a bachelor's degree. Things like that really don't matter right now. Hopefully that will all be changing soon. But yeah, it can be really difficult when somebody that's in charge of where you live doesn't care and really thinks so little of you. It oftentimes can feel degrading. So yeah, it's a lot. It can be a lot. So real quick, so let's see. Yeah, I think I went through a lot of that stuff. We, along with the drugs, like I said, we have the smell of meth constantly. We have the smell of marijuana, cigarettes, the death smell, which I don't know if that's from the mold. I don't know if it's something behind the walls. I don't know what it is, but we can have the diffuser going. Just today, I even did like the baking soda and vinegar to clean the drains. Nothing gets rid of the smell. It's so bad. We even have like one of the maintenance guys, he will come in and he'll smell like marijuana so bad. And that's if we can even get management to send maintenance. And this is the same maintenance guy that one time when he was fixing that part of the bathroom that I showed you by the faucet, I was walking downstairs and he's like, yeah, you walk in front of me so I can watch from behind. Like, look, I'm an adult. In my younger days, I worked in bars and stuff. There's not a lot that phases me, but like, I'm in my home and you're supposed to be doing something. Like, the comment was really unnecessary and it really bothered my daughter. She was not okay with that. We've had management watch people overdose on their porches and do nothing. She just was like, oh, there's somebody overdosing, and left it at that. She's left me nasty voicemails because she doesn't like the fact that we are a no-shoe household. And so she had come over for something and, I was like, take your shoes off, please. And she's like, well, when maintenance comes in here, they're not taking their shoes off. And then she left me a nasty voicemail. And the thing is I supply the box of like shoe booties for if maintenance or somebody did have to come in my house. And it's not easy to take their shoes off. That's fine. Like, I'll supply them. If I'm the one that doesn't want shoes in my house, then I should have to supply the booties, and I do. Oh, let me tell real quick too, the story of my bedroom window. That was broken. This was like 2 years ago in October. She would not fix my window for months and months. So like I said, we're in Illinois, so we get really, really cold winters. And we went up in my bedroom from October 19th to the middle to end of January with only a piece of cardboard over my windows, which again, I'm going to show the pictures. So needless to say, that was unbelievably cold, and my electricity bill was higher than most of our electricity bills were at the time. It was crazy. But the glass guys that were from a glass company, when they came, they walked right in my door and they said, is this your bedroom window? And I said, yeah. And they said, oh, we'll take our shoes off right here then. We don't want to wear shoes in your bedroom. And I'm like, okay, some people get it, but I just thought that was very polite of them. There was one time there was another pipe issue where there was something going on, and there was a note put on our door like, oh, like, don't use your water tonight or something. Okay, there are 2 females in this house. That's all I'm gonna say. And we needed a shower that night. So we made it very quick, all this. And then this neighbor was like, called and turned us in. We know that they took a shower and all that. And so then I get a voicemail from management like, if you ever do that again, I will shut your water off, and all this kind of stuff. It just like, it's always threats and just hatefulness. She's said that like I have all these extra locks on my door. She just makes things up. I don't even know. I know there's a section over here that is for elderly. The former maintenance men who have left because they just couldn't tolerate the sneaky things that the manager does. Like, she will turn the heat off in the hallways when that's all elderly living over there. She'll turn the heat off, she'll turn the air off. it doesn't matter. She doesn't care. But if you ask her, she'll tell you that this is her passion. So let's see. Oh, another thing, people coming to us and being like, oh yeah, like she digs through your daughter's social media, and then she'll sit in her office and gossip. And like people that come into the office, she'll like go through all of my daughter's social media and show them like why? Like, I don't understand why. What's that whole purpose? So let's see. I think that is a lot of the stuff. Oh, I do want to say too, we do have a laundry room here, which my daughter and I will not use. We'll go do laundry elsewhere, because over there a lot of times we have a tent city across the street, so we're super cautious about just like when we go in and out of the house, because we have had to call the police for people sleeping in our yard, and typically when we describe them, the police will know who it is and tell us whether or not they're safe or not. But they'll also sleep in the laundry room. And then I know that people have found like glass and rocks and different things in their wash, so we just don't use it. We don't even go over that way. Yeah, so I think that's been a lot of the stuff. It's a lot to deal with. And one of the big things is just how badly my daughter's health and my health have just gone downhill from the stress of living here. And I've had some really bad skin issues from the mold. Again, I will show pictures. My daughter has like blood clot nosebleeds. Like, it's not even a nosebleed, just blood clots that will come out. Headaches, just there are so many things that we have dealt with, you know, stomach issues, the rashes, just the headaches, it's not even nosebleeds. I know I said that, but it's just like, I don't know, it's so bad. Real quick too, I did want to add 2 other instances real quick. Is there was one time my daughter was sent a birthday gift from a family member, and it was like one of those Cricut kits, and so the value was somewhere between the $300 and $400 mark. And I got a text that was like, oh hey, that package just said it was delivered to your house. So I opened my front door and there's nothing on my porch, and so I text back and I'm like, there's nothing on the porch. And they're like, it says it was delivered to you like however many minutes ago. And so I'm like, I don't know. So I kind of like walked on my porch, looked around to the other porches, and there was nothing. And so I called FedEx, and so the, I guess, supervisor checked into it for me and was like, yeah, do you have, you know, she asked my unit number, and I told her, and she said, who lives in unit 10? And I was like, oh boy, that it's a bunch of people who are very well known for their drug use and manufacturing. And so she was like, okay. And she's like, well, my delivery guy said that it showed your address, but he delivered it to the other unit because that's where his GPS told him to go. And so that was a big mess. So the FedEx guy saw the correct address, but because his GPS said it was a nasty mess. So anyway, so FedEx is reporting it stolen because I knocked on their house. Nobody would answer. I had to call the police, report it stolen. And then the police were like, okay, like, let's talk to the manager while we're here. And so then the manager came over and was like, well, again, like always, there's no proof. And I'm like, okay, but the FedEx driver literally said that he gave it to these people. And so the police is, you know, the police are writing everything down. They go knock on the door, nobody will answer. And so, yeah, management just refused to do anything. FedEx is involved. FedEx, you know, took blame for it. The police are involved. Management's like, well, again, no proof. And I'm like, everybody, like, it's there. They delivered it to them. And so that was a big nasty mess. So anyway, it was a few days I kept knocking on the door. When I would hear them, knowing they were home, and they just wouldn't answer. And so then finally, it was, I think, maybe 5 days later, I had a guy that I normally wouldn't open my door to, but I did see on my ring that he had a box. And so I assumed that maybe, you know, it was my daughter's package, and it was. And so that was a big nasty mess. But the biggest one of all is a few years back, there was this boy that used to live here. And my daughter is a very tiny, petite little thing, always has been. And this kid was 3-4 times her size, height and weight and everything. And she had been outside and she was laughing and giggling with some other people, just minding her business. And she happened to look his way. And somehow, like, they made eye contact, and he said that he didn't like her looking at him. And I don't know, it was a big nasty thing. People are running over to get me, telling me that my daughter is screaming and crying. She's been hurt. I run out there, and this kid and his dad are just like, whatever. And my daughter's laying there, brutally screaming, with her head smashed against the ground and like tree roots. And so we took her to the emergency room. They were doing, you know, scans on her and everything. She had a concussion at the time. She did end up with a brain injury. She still has difficulties with like zappy things that can happen, and I'm sure that the mold exacerbates that. She also has brain injury, tremors in her hands. So anyway, I had insurance at that time. So Blue Cross got a hold of me, and they're like, what happened with this? We have police statements and hospital statements, and we want to know what happened, because why are we paying for this? And so then I have a friend who was an attorney, and then he was trying to help out everything. All these things, witnesses, police, hospital results, lawyers, and management. Well, we're not going to do anything, because the boy's family, the boy that did this, his family doesn't have anything. They don't have anything. So we're not going to pursue this from our end. And so since they wouldn't do anything from their end, it just turned into a big mess, and it basically just all got swept under the carpet. And so my daughter still has a lot of things that came from that injury, and just, yeah, management, no big deal. So those are a couple of extra things I wanted to add into this, because obviously my daughter, that incident was the biggest one of all. And it's hard, because even like when you start to work and build up that money, it just seems to not be enough to move out. And so you just kind of feel trapped, and it's really difficult. You know, I just really pray that, you know, God finds us a way out of here so that we can get our health back and just feel normal again, and not have dizziness and bleeding and skin issues and all these things. And so, yeah, we pray a lot. We're working on our faith because we're struggling here. And we pray a lot anyway, but like if management or maintenance or anything has to come in, we'll usually go back through and like bless the house, because of just the negative energy that comes through. So we'll, like somebody at church told us to bless any opening of the house. And so that's usually what we do. But for now, that's all I can think of. I didn't want this to be a completely just like hateful video, and so that's why, you know, I want to make it clear that, like, you know, we pray about this. You know, we're really hopeful that God is going to get us out of here, and yeah, did it get us through? It did. But for our sanity, for our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health, it's time to get out of here. And I just pray that we find a way, that I find full-time income, and that just everything works out. So if you're the praying type, I would I would really love some extra prayers for my daughter and me. And so yeah, so thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in some more videos to come. Bye.